So if you didn't know, there is a national teacher shortage. One estimate shows there are more than 200,000 open positions nationwide. And one man's viral TikTok post is helping explain why. So a guy from Ohio named Seth posted this TikTok holding up a Walmart vest. He said he left teaching after 6 years to be a Walmart manager, where he's making a lot more money. As a teacher, Seth made around $43,000. Now he's making $55,000, and that's before the bonuses. Thank you. Seth said he doesn't disparage anyone for becoming a teacher, but then added, think about how good our teachers could be if they focused on teaching and not having to work a second job on weekends. We got a former teacher here. Al, what are your thoughts on this? And when you were a teacher, did you feel like that you had to have several side gigs?
Yeah, I mean, every teacher that I knew had side gigs, and I didn't know because I came into teaching straight from graduate school, so I didn't, it was graduate school for the sciences. I didn't go to school for education, so I didn't really have know a lot going in, but I quickly realized, and I taught for 4.5 years, the lives that the teachers had outside, and they were like really the first people that had a side hustle. All the teachers I knew did taxes on the side. All the teachers that I knew babysat on the side or did something, tutored. A lot of teachers tutored on the side, so you had 2 or 3 jobs before it was like a cool hashtag. And it really, you know, Sam, as I was thinking about this morning, why are so many teachers quitting and why is there such a shortage? Is there a shortage of anything that's beneficial? There's not a shortage of Instagram influencers. There's not a shortage of corporate tax lawyers. There's not a shortage for anything that is lucrative. There's only a shortage for teachers because we do not pay them, we do not respect them, and at every opportunity, we try and figure out ways that where you can sue them for trying to say something. You try and figure out ways. We are trying to dismantle our public school systems. That's all this comes down to. People that have an agenda are trying to get charter schools there so that you can make money, because they're profitable and you can teach them whatever you want, and they also allow for discrimination in terms of who can go to that school. So
ding, ding,
anytime there's a problem.
Okay, I think that was an aha moment.
Have we talked before this?
Oh, we've talked.
I will give you the floor.
Now, a daughter of an educator, I just want to preface that.
Right. I mean, my mother was an educator she still is.
Yes.
My mother has had 4 to 5 jobs over her 50 years of experience as an educator. When she was at DePaul University, she taught in the School of Education. People who want to become teachers across the board, and I've said this before, in universities, School of Ed enrollment is down. And why? For the same reasons that Al has already highlighted. But I remember sitting here and having a conversation about teachers before, and I'm like, okay, keep talking about threatening people with lawsuits. Keep threatening teachers that you are responsible for the actual physical safety when it comes to gun violence in school. Keep talking to people like that, because these are people who are teaching is a very noble profession, not only because you are instilling value and wisdom into our future, which is our children, but it's also the idea that many of these people are using their very little resources in order to fund things that our tax dollars are not paying for. So keep playing around if you want to, but we've said this numerous times before, keep at it, and no one is going to want to teach your children. Now let's talk about that agenda, because I think that is very clear. I don't think that this is any separate. There's no separation in Roe versus Wade. When it comes to the education system, it is beneficial to have poorly educated people in our society. We are trying to create a workforce based on the idea that we are a gig economy, and all of these people during the mass resignation or the great resignation were like, no, we're going to do this on our own terms, and now we're voting against contraception, condoms, people. Condoms and birth control. Because why? We need more people. Not only do we need more people, we need less educated people. So let's just talk about this exactly the way that it is, because nobody's going to play around with $30,000, $40,000 a year and have to have 4 other side hustles in order to be threatened every day. That's where we are.
Yeah, and to her point, Jeff, you know, people will say, well, didn't teachers just get a 1.4% raise the other day? Well, if you look back to, because you have to counter in inflation, first of all, a 1.4% raise, come on now. But then if you look back into inflation in the last decade, they're actually making $2,000 less a year. So what are your thoughts?
Well, quickly, I think they said it all. I mean, they're proving a point that a manager at Walmart is more important than teaching our children, right? They're just saying it with the finances. I wonder if someone politically could run on this and maybe give a tax break of some sort. Like if you're educating our children or involved in the education world, you know, there's a huge tax break. So this way their salary will increase by not giving it back to the government. That'd be a great thing to run, I think, for a politician.
Let's see.
Jeff Schroeder, 2024.
I've been saying it for a while.